nice. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I'm glad that you liked it.
Yes.
It's a different role,
Yes.
and I'm happy to be a part of Kesari Veer and play Rasool Khan here. My first reaction was it's a big star cast
Yes.
because Sunil Shetty sir was already there, Vivek Oberoi sir was already there, Suraj and Akansha were already there. So when Prince narrated me the story, I was like, wow, this is a huge star cast. I decided to unfollow everyone, so I don't follow anyone on social media.
Yeah.
And it's been 3 years. I remember a few friends of mine, they called me up at that point of time. एक दो महीने में वापस आ जाओगे. Hi, my name is Himanshu Malhotra. You're watching in India Forums.
Subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss another update from India Forums.
So, Himanshu, welcome to India Forums.
Thank you so much.
And firstly, of course, I'll begin with talking about your role in the film Kesari Veer. It was terrific, you know, you in that armor and everything. It just felt great looking you like that. So, congratulations for that.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I'm glad that you liked it.
Yes.
It's a different role,
Yes.
and I'm happy to be a part of Kesari Veer and play Rasool Khan. Yes,
Of
thank you.
course. So, I'll of course begin with that. How was it when you got to know that you will be a part of this film which have such great actors working with you? And I want to know your first reaction.
My first reaction was it's a big star cast
Yes.
because Sunil Shetty sir was already there, Vivek Oberoi sir was already there, Suraj and Akansha were already there. So when Prince narrated me the story, I was like, wow, this is a huge star cast. And for him also a very big film because me and him have worked together long back.
Yeah.
And he was an assistant at that point of time, and now he's directed this film. So for me, it was like, wow, Starcast is big. It's a good producer. It's an independent producer. Norma was, later on came on board as well. And the role that he offered me was something which I had not expected because what happens is, I think it's understandable when you look a particular way, when you talk a particular way,
Yeah.
then people assume that you will only play characters
True.
which are in those dimensions. But I think as an artist, it's imperative that we extend our boundaries. And Prince saw that. I remember he was like, Manchav, we'll just make sure physiologically we create a look which is going to be like, armor and, we'll have beard growing and long hair and we'll have safas and everything. We may also put some lenses to create that kind of an impact. And he's going to be antagonist with Zafar Khan that is being played by Vivek Oberoi. So it's an all and out, and of course then it's Urdu and Pashto and Arabic. The language is different as well. So you will completely enjoy this. And I was like, wow. Then he also included this two sword things. This wherever he goes, he'll be fighting with two swords, which you must have seen in the pre-climax sequence with Suraj. So I think the way he thought of it, the way he designed it, and the way he interpreted that I can portray that part, I think that shows a lot of confidence in the artistic ability that I have. So I'm actually at that point of time I was thankful, and I'm still very thankful for that.
Right. So have you been, reading the reviews or the DMs that you are getting about your role, and how does that feel?
It's everyone's appreciating, so which is really really nice, and and also I think predominantly because they have not expected something like this. I think in a couple of interviews, most of the people have been saying you look like a rom-com boy and everything, and the way you talk and the way you're gentle and kind and all those things. But I think when you portray something like this and it's being visible to everyone, then they're like, wow, he can do something like this as well. And I think that is more appreciated. And when people are encouraging and supporting and appreciating that you can extend your boundaries, and also as an artist, what happens is that we must extend our boundaries and we must try and do things which are beyond you, the roles which are away from you. And when something is being done like this and it's done with honesty and truthfulness, I think it gets appreciation. So I'm glad that people are liking it. Yes.
Lovely. I want to know about the scene when, at the end, Vivek Oberoi is there, like Zafar is standing and you are dead. Like the character is dead and he's talking with you while being there, having that glass that let's share this last champagne or whatever that thing is. And it's just, a very different scene.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you can break that for me, what went through
So
my
that scene actually was included later on. Later
Okay.
on, in the sense, initially it was like that there'll be rain and everything, and
Yeah.
he'll be dead. There'll
Yes.
be, and that's where he decides कि जहाँ पे मृत्यु होगी जफर की, oh sorry, रसूल की वहीं मकबरा बनेगा and all that.
Right, yes.
But I think it was Vivek sir's input at that point of time. He said, please bring Rasool and we'll have a conversation with his dead body, kind of a thing where, where I just put him like this and I will have a conversation. And I was like, wow, this is something very interesting and fascinating
Yeah.
as an artist also.
True.
And though you're playing dead, but the awareness has to be so strong because a lot of times he pulls my cheek like
Yes.
this and then it gets dropped. He pulls it like this, and then I remember when I remember it puts a lot of jerk in the neck because you have to fall it like dead and you fall it like this. And I remember that point of time while doing it also, Vivek sir was like, wow, because we were meant to do this in 1 take or 2 takes
Yeah.
because it's an emotional outburst for him. And he was like, ये ज़्यादा takes करेंगे तो emotion मर जाएंगे and तो वो रस खत्म हो जाएगा. So he said he co-aligned with me and he told me just for some time just hold your breath. That's one. Initially, I thought I'll open my eyes and I'll keep it dead still. Then he said, then Prince said, no. In case if it blinks
Yeah.
for even a half a second, then the whole shot will go off. So let's keep it close only. Just hold your breath as much as you can and just make it very dead fall. So that was something very interesting.
Yeah.
And when I saw it, I was like, wow. Some things in that moment, because filmmaking is a collaborative effort, and Prince and Vivek sir decided to do something like this, and I was game for it. And in the end, it comes out damn good. And then he says, रसूल की जहाँ पे मौत हुई है वहाँ पर मकबरा बनेगा. तो
Lovely.
बड़ा
That scene
खूबसूरत
was-
scene था,
yes.
बड़ा interesting था. Something like this has not been,
Right.
probably I've not seen something like this in films.
Lovely. So, being with such people on the sets,
Yeah.
there's a lot of happening. There are conversations, there are exchanges, everything. So, I want to know what will be your takeaway from each of them, Sunil sir, Suraj, Vivek sir, and that you will keep with you forever.
I think with each one it's different.
Yeah.
With Vivek sir, I think it was very, very professional in a way because we both were playing complex layered characters, and we're also playing brothers. And what happens is, I'm sure he has not done something like this, which is a period drama, which is so layered and complex. And for me also, I think so. We were discussing few things as well, but more or less we're pretty much in the cocoon. And once we come to the set, and once we were there between action and cut, we co-aligned somehow. I think he kept calling me bro, bro, bro all the time. And initially I couldn't understand because I was calling him Vivek sir on the set. And he said, bro, do this, bro, do this. So now maybe I now understand that he was calling it because we are playing brothers.
Yes.
And, initially because, of course, he's done great body of work. He's got 20 years of body of work. And he was launched in a film like Company and Sathi and big films and everything. So, out of sheer respect, that's how we address everyone as our seniors. And he kept calling me bro. I still called him Vivek sir only. In between only the action and cut, it was Zafar Bhai and everything. Yeah, Bhaijan. But now I understand small things, being created by him, which also formed a bond. And in the first sequence where he just comes, I remember when I says, कुछ तो मेरी लाइन है, he says, इसके पास खाने के पैसे नहीं है और हमें सौराष्ट्र लड़ने के लिए भेज रहे हैं. तो he says, जिसका, what does he say? He says, जिसका खजाना उसकी फौज. तो say, लाले दी जान, he says something like this. So some small things were being created very beautifully together. And so it came out very, very well. And I'd also kept Rasool in a way that Rasool will do whatever he will do. There are particular lines that obviously is not in the final cut, where he says when Vivek sir is just in that sheesh mahal kind of thing, and he's he has all the babes around him. Then that is the time those lines got cut. But in those lines, then I say to Kazi that अगर भाईजान ने कहा पूरे सौराष्ट्र को आग लगा दो तो खुदा कसम भाईजान ने कह दिया तो मैं खत्म कर दूंगा. वो line, the lines got cut because obviously things happened. They're trying to make it compact and crisp and everything. So that was the denominator I kept for Rasool, that अगर भाईजान ने कहा इसको आग लगा दो तो आग लगा दो, भाईजान ने कहा खुद को मार दो तो खुद को मार दो, भाईजान ने कहा इसको मार दो. He's so much in love with his brother because that brother Zafar Bhai is like his mentor, his guru, his father figure, his brother, his everything. So that's the only way to portray it convincingly. And also I made sure which knowledge that you have seen the film. Like Zafar Bhai being played by Vivek sir is very moving all the
Yeah.
time. So then I think we call it like an animal trait. I'm assuming that he based it on snake. You know, where the snake keeps moving, the head keeps moving, and he
Yes.
keeps twirling. And I wanted to keep it because he was playing in such a manner. I decided, why don't I keep it very still and very stable, and like a stick, you know, where the eyeballs don't move. So if you see Rasul very carefully, his eyeballs are not moving. He's absolutely centered. He
Right.
stands also erect. He talks. Only the lips are moving, nothing else. And also being a warrior, they have to be so aware of everything that they can't keep moving here and there. They have this amazing peripheral vision where they can see everything that's happening here also. So I wanted to keep him very stable and very centered and very silent. He will only speak less, only towards the end when we have the pre-climax, you know, when there's a war sequence with Suraj and he comes and he blasts everything. That is the only time he blasts. Before that, I wanted to keep him very silent and everything. So yeah, coming back to your question of Vivek sir ke साथ तो इतनी सारी बातें थी, of course. But Sunil sir ke साथ obviously I didn't have any sequence
Yeah.
with him, and neither we shot together. But because he was in the protagonist clan, I was in
Right.
the antagonist clan. We never met. It was only when he called me up after the first editorial cut, and he appreciated my work.
Oh,
And he was like, Himanshu, you've really done an outstanding job. So because you know, editorial cut was also long. It was there were a lot of scenes
Yeah.
and a lot of other things. And obviously, once the final cut comes, things get shortened to make it crisp and you know, make it very impactful for the audience. So when he saw it, then and when he called, it was a beautiful moment, and I am extremely grateful for him. You know, because this is encouraging for us
Yes.
as you know, as newbies, as
Of
artists.
course.
You know, who are just starting out a new journey. And when somebody who's done 30 years of body of work and who is so big and is such an amazing co-star, an amazing human being, he called me up personally, and to get a call from him is a blessing. So I'm thankful to him for that. And then Aditya Pancholi ji was also next to him, and he also called. मतलब उन्हीं के phone को लेकर, and he said बहुत बढ़िया काम किया तुमने, बहुत अच्छा. तो मैंने कहा thank you sir, and it's beautiful to receive something like this, you know. And then with Suraj, we shot the pre-climax sequence. And with Suraj, I think we were very careful that we don't hurt each other because we spent a lot of time while shooting
All the
preparing for all
actions,
those
yes.
things, action sequences, and we made sure. And Suraj was warm and kind, and you know, mutual respect for each other. And the only thing was that we do not hurt each other,
Yeah.
because something can happen in a friction of a second. We don't know. So, and I remember when the trailer launch was, you know, happened. Teaser had come, and I'd messaged him, and I said, "You're looking fantastic." The first 1 minute
Yeah.
had come, and he also messaged, and he said, "Your work is fantastic. I've seen the film."
Oh.
And he was also very nice. Akanksha, of course, we met on set a couple of times when Suraj was, you know, when we did the pre-climax sequence.
Yeah.
Of course, we never shot any sequence together, but she was also very warm and kind. So all in all, it was a good star cast, good people to be together with and learning new things. Yeah.
Probably. Now I'll just read a little into the more philosophical zone.
Oh yes, of course. Why not?
And I would want to know that, you know, in the whole current situation we are in with all the social media and the constant scrutinizing of actors and creators and everyone, moving ahead in this journey, what do you feel and how much do you think, you know, what it needs to stay grounded and not get affected by all these things that's happening around?
I think that can only happen once you dive deep into art.
Yeah.
I think art is the only thing which can ground you once you are deeply immersed into it. If you're constantly immersed in all the paraphernalia around it, then I think you get carried away. And also, I think with time, with also seeing some success and failures, you know, together, they ground you.
Yeah.
And I think I've been there for a long time. We've done a lot of television shows. I've also, you know, we've won the reality shows, dance shows, Khatron Ke Khiladi, Sher Shah. I think a lot of things, a couple of films also in between, numerous television shows. I think as you progress this journey, you understand that success is going to be transient.
Yeah.
And even the failure is going to be transient. I think that's something that stabilizes you. And I think it's extremely important to stabilize yourself. Keep a very sane head over these strong shoulders. Because what happens is, otherwise, people come, they shine for some time, then also they leave. Because the audiences forget. I, with God's grace, plan to work for the next 2 decades also. And I've already worked for previous 2 decades. So to have a body of work for 40 years is what I presume to be. And for that, I think you have to be extremely grounded, extremely sane, and also constantly keep honing your craft and talent and dive deep into art, because art will, will fine tune you to become a beautiful artist. So all those things probably helps.
Lovely. Have you ever felt, that you'll have to succumb to the social media pressure that, you have to maintain a certain image there because, the people there are judging you quickly, or, that's where, they'll find you or they'll know you.
No, not necessarily. I think any kind of image should not be created, and if it gets created, then it should be broken.
Yeah.
Because what happens is then people catapult you in that same image, and they only want to see you in that. And I don't adhere to that. I think as a human being, as an artist, extremely important to keep diversify, to keep expanding your boundaries, because I'm here as an artist and as a human being to explore myself. If I'm not exploring myself, what am I here for? Just to keep succumbing to one image that has been created and perceived by somebody else. Then what happens is, one, you do something, people perceive an image. Now, once you adhere to that image, then you get stuck in the box.
Yeah.
The good point about, fortunately, about me is I have not adhered to those images. I'm like, okay, people have perceived, but let's just break the box. Because I'm here on an adventurous journey, an exploratory journey, and a seeking journey where I feel let's just explore, let's just go out. For me, social media is a great platform where you portray your talent and you portray who you are. Not portray, it's the way who you are. And then whatever people want. And also, what happens is, Vidya, people see truth in you. People see genuinity. I think people may not be able to understand what is good, what is bad. They can't maybe pinpoint, but something which is truthfulness and genuinity and honesty, it touches them. So I think it's extremely important to be who you are and stay the way you are. For me, 3 years back, on one day, in fact, this was a decision previously also, that I decided to unfollow everyone. So I don't follow anyone on social media.
Yeah.
And it's been 3 years. I remember a few friends of mine, they called me up at that point of time. एक दो महीने में वापस आ जाओगे. But it's been 3 years and I'm happy.
You didn't feel
I'm
good.
at peace. I don't feel the need. And that's the reason, because this is who I am. I have never followed anyone. And I don't intend to. And also I realized in the initial years, the more you get influenced by others and also other success, and because you're young, you don't know yourself, and the more you get influenced by others, that's where you lose yourself. And I don't want myself to be lost in this maya, this whole illusion, this whole everything which can sound or seem like an illusion. So I don't want to get lost of myself, lost of my originality. And also as an artist, I think it's extremely important to be very, very original. This I learned long back when I did my first film in 2005 with Rajat, which never got released.
Yeah.
That be your worst original, which is okay, rather than being somebody's best clone. I don't want to be clone. I'm here to be original, whoever I am. I'm good, bad, worst, ugly, whatever, but I want to be myself. And then the journey started inwards, and I'm happy and peaceful with the journey. I don't intend to take on anyone's path, because anyone's path is their path, and they are original in that. This is my path. Let me follow my path.
Fantastic. Very well put.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, and it was just lovely hearing you.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it. Thanks a lot.